I'm finna break down this method that some men use, and it's typically known as the 3-month rule. So from the first time y'all make contact, this man is giving you, boom, 100%. He'll text you first, and he's consistent with it. That's the key, is consistency. That's what women fall in love with, consistency. Now that he knows that he got you, boom, he dropping to 95%. But you don't notice, because that 5%, it's not too much of a difference from what he was doing. And then boom, he drops it to 90%. You assume that you just overthinking, you don't want to self-sabotage a good relationship that you don't found.
Hey, I don't like to take credit for shit. That's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the like I told you so type of person or whatever, but I do gotta say this though. I do gotta address this real quick. I've been saying this, it's been in a different way, but I've been saying this about men. If you guys have been listening to my content, because I say it like I repeat it. It's like a mantra, right? A lot of my messages I repeat because they need to be repeated. And I've been saying this for years now, but when I talk about how men do this thing where they start off up here, right? Meaning how they show up in the relationship. They show up here. This is where they start, and then they slowly drop down to here, right? Or no, let's say it's not that low. Let's say they go to here. So they start here, go to the line. They start here, they drop down to here, and then the woman goes, "Oh man, I remember when you were here." And then he goes, "Okay, well, I could do that." And then he works his way back up, but then he only gets about halfway. And then she goes, "Whoo, okay, he started to get better." So she stops fucking, hitting him up and, you know what I mean? Like addressing it or whatever for a while. But then he slowly starts to go, maybe even faster this time. He drops down. Now he's down to here. And she's like, "Hey, you're doing that thing again, right? You used to be up here, back to the middle point." Then he goes, "Oh, I can get back up there." And he goes, "Okay, well, I'm here. I'll work my way up." And then he stops here. And then she sees the progress. And you guys get the point. I literally just got done doing that thing not a week ago, right? And then lo and behold, I come across this video and I'm like, if this ain't exactly what the fuck I've been talking about.
All right, lady, I'm finna break down this method that some men use, and it's typically known as the 3-month rule. And before we get into it, I can speak on it because unfortunately, yes, I have done it. I know I was a shitty ass human being for doing it. It's super manipulative, but this shit is foolproof. This shit worked. And I'm taking full accountability for it. I don't live that life anymore. And if you can't change something, embrace it. So I'm going to embrace it by giving y'all the game so y'all can peep up on it. So from the first time y'all make contact, this man is giving you, boom, 100%. He'll text you first, and he's consistent with it. The compliments, endless. This man is in love with you. He think you're the most beautiful person on the planet. He's always available. You can random FaceTime him, and he's always picking up the phone. He tells you when he's going somewhere. He might even give you his location. Oh, he might even send you some money on. And this isn't just 1, 2, 3, no.
So basically, he's showing up for her the way that she is showing up for him, essentially, right? He's being intentional the way she's being intentional. He's being forthright and honest the way that she's being forthright and honest. He's mirroring her, right? He's mirroring her. Men will mirror what women do for us. We know we see how she's functioning, and then we just copy it, right? That's what happens. Okay.
He's consistent with it. That's the key, is consistency. That's what women fall in love with, consistency. And he'll fight through the phases you trying to play hard to get. Maybe you got certain boundaries from past relationships. He gonna respect them all. He might not even try to fuck. And now you think you done got the one. You think you done got the love of your life. You so proud of yourself. Oh, I stood on business. I never settled, and I finally got him. No, baby. Nah, this just a start. So now that he knows that he got you, boom, he dropping to 95%. But you don't notice, because that 5%, it's not too much of a difference from what he was doing. And then boom, he drops it to 90%. And some women notice it, majority of women don't. Most of the time, the delusion that you got from him putting in 100% is still in there. So y'all not really finna peep.
That's not delusion. That's not delusion. It really is hard if you think about it. Like, what does 10% look like? We don't know what that looks like. But it's because we're human and there's ebbs and flows in life. So it's not like you're expecting a person to be the exact same way the whole time. You know what I'm saying? It's the core shit that where you really, you hone in on. You're like, all right, so as long as they don't lose sight of that, then we're good.
And then boom, he drops it to 80. And you notice this one, but you're not ready to say nothing yet. You assume that you just overthinking, you don't want to self-sabotage a good relationship that you don't found. So boom, now he drops it to 75. And you speak on this one. You reach out to me, you like, hey, what's going on? You seem a little distant. Is everything cool? You just seem a little off. This shit is so devious. Now the man's response would typically be, I'm just dealing with a lot. When I'm going through stuff, I just like to isolate. When my energy low, I just like to distance myself so it don't rub off on you. Okay, so boom, he knows you peeped the shift, so he bumps it back up to 75. And you're grateful. You happy about this 5%. You like, oh, he's putting back in effort. I knew he cared about me. Whoop. Just feeding the delusion. But to, oh boy, 5% is nothing. From 70 to 75, that's what a couple FaceTime calls today. He gonna keep chopping. It's gonna keep getting lower. You probably at 65, 60, 55% by now. You say something again, and get what he do. Bump it back up 5 more percent. And you still grateful because you communicated something and he changed. But it's 5%, shawty. That's nothing. And he's just gonna keep chopping it. At this point, you at like 20%. But you so desperate to get back to that 100% that you thought were real. You like, please give me anything. And get what he do? He give you another 5%, and you still happy. Like, do y'all catch what's going on? The whole point of it is like this manipulative push and pull method. Like, give you a little bit, take a little bit more. But every time he's taking more and more away. He can give you, he can be at nothing, 0%, and you will be happy with that 5%. And I'm gonna give y'all an example just so I can peep how small 5% is. It's that random text you get. Hey, shawty, just thinking about you. Hope your day going well. How your mama doing? It could be a random swipe up on the story. You know what I'm saying? Some hard eyes. Some, hey, you look gorgeous right here. Woo. Take this shit down. Woo. Like, the game has always been the game. And the only way to beat this is to believe him when he shows you who he is. A man that cares about you, he's not going a day without talking to you. There's no way that he's finna cut communication because he's going through something. He gonna want you a part of that. But y'all know the drill, man. Like, comment, follow. Tell me what else y'all want to know.
What he just said, it is so scary because it is almost verbatim what I've been saying, right? It's scary to think that it's so obvious that this is what men do, that two different men that I've never come across that young man's platform. I swear to God. And I'm sure he hasn't come across mine. I don't think he stole from me. I didn't steal from him. Like, all of that is out there, right? But we essentially have said that, and you guys, again, anybody that's heard me talk on my platform, I've said it in lives, I've said it in videos, I've said it on panels. Like, that is how men function. I disagree on 2 points. On 2 points. And I don't know if it's necessarily a disagreement. I don't even think he would disagree with this. But there's 2 things that I want to add a little nuance to. A, it is not a 90-day rule. It is a 9-year rule. It is a 90-year rule. Like, men will do this shit for 20 years. So it's not a 90-day rule. This is how most men function in relationships, period. Secondly, it's not always conscious. And this is not to absolve the men of responsibility at all. It's just an acknowledgement that men are taught to be like this subconsciously. It's like we learn it through osmosis. It's not something that we consciously think about. Like, when men are manipulative, not by nature, but we are definitely socialized to be manipulative, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Men are socialized to we are socialized to pursue women, correct? Okay, cool. But the way in which we pursue women is very predatory. We are socialized to think that predatory behaviors is just a function of manhood. It's just a function of being a human being, right? That being persistent, we conflate being persistent, right, with being, with being consistent. And we conflate all of that with I'm sorry, but in reality, those things are just you being a pest. Those things are you being predatory. Those things are more synonymous with you being predatory. The way that they show up in men is more predatory than persistent. You know what I'm saying? Because a lion is persistent. When he's hunting, when she's hunting, a lioness, she is persistent, right? Wolves are persistent in their hunts. They pursue for miles and miles and miles. They hunt down packs of oxen miles, herds of oxen, miles away, right? That's persistent. I mean, that's persistence, but it's also predatory because they are predators. Once they catch them, what are they going to do? They're going to devour them. That's how men function. It is not always, and it is most often not even something that men consciously think about. I promise you, it's not. And that is the scariest part about it. That's really scary to think about. That most men are taught to function in this way. We are indoctrinated. It's not even something that we like. He's saying that he did this before. So he was self-aware. He was deliberately trying to do this, and it's impact over intent all day. So if I did it unconsciously and he did it consciously, it don't matter. We both did it. I'm not absolving either party of their responsibility. I'm just exposing the fact that oftentimes this is not something that men think about consciously because we don't self-reflect. And that's the sick part. Or should I say that's also a sick part. It's sick either way. When you think about it, it's like, okay, so would you rather be with the man that knew like him, that really was like intentional about manipulating this woman? Or would you rather be with the man that was just naturally, quote unquote, I don't mean that in literal sense, but you know what I'm saying? He was just naturally manipulating this woman. Not even thinking about it. Like that was just his second nature. He was just like, yeah, I mean, lying, gaslighting, that's just what I do. Yeah, like giving her 100% because men are taught that's how you get a woman. Men are essentially taught narcissistic tactics. Men are taught manipulative tactics to get women, right? You buy her flowers, you be chivalrous, you open up doors. Nowhere in the bylines, in the bylines of these rules or whatever, rules of engagement when it comes to men and women, does it say you need to do this forever. It just says you need to do this to get a woman. It doesn't say you need to do this to keep a woman. It says you need to open up doors, you need to pull out chairs, you need to take her on nice dates. It doesn't say, because when you start talking about happy wife, happy life, that shit goes out the window, right? The very same men that will, in the beginning, acknowledge like, oh no, you got to show up, you got to be on time, you got to present you got to take a shower, you got to be presentable, you got to dress the part, you got to act, talk, and walk the part. Yeah. Now talk to that man. Now tell that man happy wife, happy life. He melts down. No, man. Happy spouse, happy house, dog. No. What happened to you putting your best foot forward for the woman? What happened to you presenting yourself in a way that that is palatable, acceptable? But what happened to that? Now that you got her, you don't care? You could just lay out on the couch all day, relax, drink beer, ignore her, whatever you want to do? Is that what you're telling me? Okay, because that's what most men think. That's what I'm saying. These things aren't even conscious. It's sick because it's so insidious. It's like women can't escape it. You're either with the man that is doing it intentionally or you're with the man that's doing it unintentionally. You choose. Either way, you're going to get it done to you. Like, what kind of fucked up reality is that? To have people just existing in and living in and force them to be in relationships with me? Like, why? That's crazy. But everything that man said, though, I have said that shit almost verbatim many a times. So please, I know y'all gonna say he's simping and he pandering and all of that stuff, and he may very well be simping and pandering or whatever you want to say. He may very well be. But I just want to make it clear. I just want to be clear that if I'm lying, this is what I want to know. If I'm lying, if I'm making this up, if I'm pandering, right? Why is it that another man that I have no connection to can say the almost verbatim the exact same thing that I'm saying? If it has no validity, how do I know exactly what's going on? And he knows exactly what's going on. And he even admitted to doing it. And I've admitted to doing it. I wasn't conscious. Me and him it's two different men. He is the man that went out, like he knew what he was doing. I didn't even know it. I was talking about my wife. I was talking with my wife about that shit earlier. Like, she was like, yeah, you didn't know. Like, that was the craziest part would be like, I would be talking to you and I could see like, you'll be like, oh, for real? Like I had no fucking idea. I had no idea. It was not something that I was out here on some like, yeah, man, I'm about to scheme and get this woman and manipulate her. And like, I was not thinking like that. Not even a little bit. Not for 1 second did that ever cross my mind. Because here's the thing, had it crossed my mind, I wouldn't have done it. But that's the trick of the patriarchy. It's to get the men to not think about it, to not self-reflect. And then it's like pulling teeth to get a man to self-reflect. That's the fucked up part. It's like here's what I'm saying. And even with whatever my growth and all of that shit, I still, the growing pains was me pushing back needlessly against my wife, was me pushing back needlessly against whatever woman was trying to fucking tell me how I was doing her wrong or whatever the case may be. You see what I mean? Like it's not only that we don't know, it's that when we're confronted with it, we don't accept it like that. We still got to push and pull and then finally, if the woman is lucky, she'll break through. The man will have a breakthrough. If she is lucky. But two things. A, she shouldn't have to do that. It's not her job to teach you. It's not my wife's job to teach me, first and foremost. And secondly, why does it have to be so fucking hard? Like, it's so rare that happens. It's so rare that a man actually does start to self-reflect. It's so rare that a man actually does start to listen to the woman or listen, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case. I mean, it doesn't matter. Whoever is telling them the thing, a man or a woman, doesn't matter. It's so rare that a man goes, damn, I really never thought about it from that perspective. And I get it. Trust me. That's why I understand like the people that come to me and they're like, but how did you do it? And they're like, well, I'm trying to get my husband. I'm trying to get my boyfriend. And I'm trying to be, and how did you? And I'm like, I really don't have an answer. I don't know why, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's in my DNA for me not to be a complete fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Right. But definitely for me, you get to a place where you can no longer deny the truth. You just can't deny it. You know what I mean? Like it's when you deny it, you're just dumb. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like you're evil too and all of that stuff, definitely. But also you're just you're just dumb. You're just stupid. It's like you're denying this? You're denying that this is what's going on. This isn't what's happening, even though I could tell you 20 different ways in which this is happening and why it's happening, all this stuff. All of a sudden, it's you just are not all of a sudden, you just can't accept it. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking evil, maniacal idiot. This is who you want to be. You want to be this person. Now you are being willfully ignorant. Now you're being willfully ignorant. And once you encounter a person that's willfully ignorant and their ignorance is harming you, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. If a woman meets a master manipulator that isn't like this man that's intentionally doing it, probably nothing she can do. And if a woman meets a man that is being willfully ignorant, there's nothing she could do. And the reality is the 99% of men fall within one of those two categories. That's the sad truth. That's the sad truth. That's the reality for women. And that, as a man, that really, it really makes me, I feel for them. Like I really do. Like I really I feel hurt, right? Like for them, but I also, it makes me want to be better. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing, that because they don't deserve that. Like my wife doesn't deserve that. No woman I know deserves that. No child deserves it, right? Because the children are affected too. Like no woman or child deserves that. So I'm like, the least I can do is try to be a better person. The least I can do is try to fucking, you know what I'm saying? That's the least I can do. That's bare minimum. Like I could just try to be a better person. Fuck. You can do it. I mean, you ain't gonna try to do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. That you have the tools. They're there. Use them. And the men that I talk to that are on this path, We all have a similar journey. We all have a similar story. The same way that this man has a similar story. We might have started off this man, but the ones that are on the path and doing the healing and doing the work, we talk about it. We talk about how it was brought to our attention. And it wasn't like we just woke up one day and was like, I'm doing her wrong. I'm being a bad boyfriend. I'm being a bad husband. I'm being a bad father. Like that's not how it works. It's usually the woman doing her work and your work. And that has to stop. We got to stop expecting them to do both of our jobs. That's a lot of fucking weight to put on their shoulders. That's a lot. That's heavy. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's that's bogging them down. Like they could be doing so much more and so much better. So I just don't, not to say I don't understand, but I don't. Like I don't understand why. Like I don't understand why we have to be this combative. I don't get it. I don't know like why we're so reluctant. I don't know, man. Because this shit it's like it's so obvious. It's so obvious. And to me, it's like I'm in this place personally where I just can't turn a blind eye. I cannot not see it. And I've said that before, but it's really true. Like I cannot not see this type of shit anymore. In my own personal life and in everybody else's life, I cannot ignore it. I cannot be like, well, women be tripping too. Like I can't do that anymore. I can't do it. It's crazy. I don't have it in me.
I say this all the time. Most of them know what they're doing. You're not the first person they've done it to. They see that they get attention from it and they like it. They're human. There's so many reasons why people push-pull, but at this point, if you're on a healing journey, get to the point where it really doesn't matter whether it's malicious or what the intent is, whether they're avoidant and just can't communicate properly. Do not put yourself into an intermittent reinforcement cycle. Your biochemistry will get involved in it. If you come from a history of emotional neglect, you're already emotionally starved. So these people can come in strong and then take it away bit by bit by bit. And you will be wrapped up in that dopamine, adrenaline and cortisol cycle. That's why it's so easy to do it to people. Get to a point where it's a deal breaker. It does not matter where that comes from. If you make that a deal breaker and that's within your values and standards, you will cut out all the manipulative people. If somebody cares about you, if somebody cares about your emotional well-being, if somebody loves you, they are not going to push-pull you within an inch of your life. So it's up to you to notice when people are doing it. Call out that behaviour. And if it's not stopping, it really does not matter what the reason is. That's like, I can let that go then. Because that person doesn't care about you and doesn't care about your emotional well-being. Do not get stuck in that cycle because you will get addicted so quickly. If you have a brain, you will get addicted to it because it messes with your biochemistry and hits all those core wounds that are lying under the surface that you might not even know exist.
Yeah, exactly what she said. Like the men don't care. If a woman brings it to a man's attention and the man doesn't react, like doesn't genuinely put in an effort to grow, he doesn't care. That's I will 100%. He doesn't care enough. He may care somewhat, but he doesn't care enough. He doesn't care more about her than he does about him, about his discomfort. Because it's not even like him doing the thing is going to hurt him. So you can't even say, does he care more about him or her? That's not really what it is. It's not really a fair comparison. It's not like the man, if he grows and becomes a better person, oh my God, he's giving up something. Like it's not that. But will it be uncomfortable for a bit? Yeah. But ultimately, it'll benefit him. So he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's the truth. She's 100% right about that.